Hello student. So in the last lecture we have discussed the different elements of HVDC transmission system like converter. As you know the different types of converters, 6 pulse, 12 pulse, 18 pulse, then converter transformers, then filters required at the both the end, AC filter as well as DC side require DC filter, then smoothing reactors we require to remove the ripples, earth electrodes, circuit breaker. So all are the different components we discussed in the last lecture in detail. What is the function of this all the element? So now in this lecture we discuss the what are the different HVDC system as of now installed in India and what is the future installation of HVDC system. So I have taken this presentation from the Power Grid Corporation. As you know that this is a central transmission utility company which is governed by the central government. And in this presentation we see that as of now what are the different HVDC system installed in India and what is the future of HVDC system, or what is the future installation of different HVDC system in India. So start this presentation. So first you can see the outline of the presentation. Then HVDC system as of now present in the India with main data and what are the salient feature of all these HVDC system. What are the upcoming projects, HVDC projects in future, and for future challenges. So before going into detail, you can see there is transmission network as of now present in India. So you can see that in this presentation 765 and 400 kV HVAC transmission line that of length is 1,03,000 circuit kilometers. So circuit kilometer, I give you the detail of this. What is the meaning of circuit kilometers? I give the 765 and 400 kV HVAC transmission line that of length is 1,03,000 circuit kilometers. So circuit kilometer, I give you the detail of this. What is the meaning of circuit kilometers? I give the one. I give you one document on this. They explain that what is the circuit kilometers. So 765 400 kV lines has a length of 1,03,000 circuit kilometers. This is a HVAC line. Same way 220 kV HVAC lines, that is about 1,32,000 circuit kilometers. Then HVDC bipole line. This is the one of the classification. As we know that generally we use the bipole HVDC system. As you know the three classification of HVDC system: bipolar, monopolar and homopolars, and we generally use the bipolar HVDC system. So bipolar HVDC system with plus or minus 500 kV, they have length of 7,500 circuit kilometers, and there are three bipolar HVDC as of now available in India. Then HVDC back-to-back HVDC system, 7 number is available with capacity of 3,000 megawatt power transfer. Then these are the FACS devices, which is a TCSC thyristor control series capacitor. 6 number of TCSC is available. 22 number of FSC fixed switch capacitors. It means there is one of the capacitor banks which is used for the regulation of the voltage. So this is the overall power map of this India. You can see that different voltage rating, transmission lines at a different region in all over the India. And this is the inter-region capacity of power transmission. You know that there are 5 regions. One is north region, another is western region, southern region, eastern region, and fifth one is northeastern region. So all Indian grid is divided into the 5 regions, and all these 5 regions are interconnected with each other. As we know that by using the tie line, the 2 regions are connected to transmit the power from one region to another region. You can also see here in this map, from Gujarat to north region the power is also transmitted here. Same way from western region to southern region also. Same way from western region to eastern region also we can transmit the power. So all the regions are divided all over the India, and the region wise inter-regional power capacity, it means between 2 regions power capacity is 22,400 megawatt between all these 5 inter-regional. Then you can see that energy resource map. As you know that all over the India there are different sources of power is available, like coal power is available in this Chhattisgarh, Orissa or Jharkhand region. You can see that state-wise a different power generation capacity, like Chhattisgarh has capacity of 58,000 megawatt using coal. Same way Orissa, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh. Same way hydropower is available in northeastern region as well as in north regions, in Himalayan regions. Coastal based power generation capacity is available in three states: Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Gujarat. You can also see that the map also. Here this black sign that indicates the coal based generation, you can see here in this Chhattisgarh, Orissa, Jharkhand and Madhya Pradesh region. Hydropower here in northeast and north regions. Then coastal regions, you can see here it is available in Gujarat here and Tamil Nadu also. So it means that the generation or energy resources are not uniformly distributed geographically. So because of that, we require the transmission of power from generating station to the load center. So if you take the example that suppose here northeast region, a large hydro is available and the load center is here in the central India near the Delhi or NCR region, they require the huge amount of power. So to transmit the power from this generating station to this load center, we require the large length of power transmission line. So that is possible by HVAC line as well as HVDC line. But as we know that if you go beyond the 600 kilometer, then HVAC line is not economical. So that's because we require the HVDC transmission line. So over the long distance power transmission, we use the HVDC line, and because the generating stations are far away from the load center, we generally prefer the HVDC line. So there are so many HVDC lines in India, and in the near future also you can see that the number of HVDC lines are erected to transmit the power from generating station to this load centers. So this is the energy resource map, and this is a transmission highway where the power generation is available. As you already explained that generation is available in northeastern region, load center is in central India. So this is a transmission highway where power is transmitted from northeast to central India. Same way you can see that from central India to western region power is transmitted. Same you can see that from southern region to central India also power is transmitted. So based on the generation availability and the load center, we require to create the transmission corridor or transmission highway. And as you know that as the year by year passing on, the voltage capacity is increasing. So you see that first 220 kV is possible before 1977, then 400 kV is possible because of the creation of the new material for the insulators. Then 500 kV HVDC system is possible in 1990. Then 765 kV HVAC is possible. Then in 2012 800 kV HVDC is also possible. Then nowadays we can also use the 1200 kV HVAC lines. Clear? So maximum capacity of HVDC system as of now in India is 800 kV. In HVAC line we have maximum capacity 1200 kV. So as the number of year increasing, we require the more transmission voltage because we require to transmit the more power, because we cannot increase the rating of current. As we know that if we increase the rating of current, then what will happen? The I-square loss increases very high, so that we cannot achieve, we not get the required amount of the power at the receiving side. So day by day we try to increase the voltage level to reduce the losses and to increase the more and more power transfer from generating end to the load center. So here in the next slide you can see that comparison right of way. We already discussed that the right of way is the distance required at the two sides of the towers. Amount of space is required in HVAC system and compare with the HVDC system. So as we know that two conductors only required, and size of towers in HVDC system is very small as compared to HVAC. So right of way of HVAC system is always higher than the HVDC system. So right of way increases, it means that we require the more lands. So land acquisitions we require more in HVAC system as compared to HVDC. So overall investment cost in HVAC is more as compared to the HVDC system. So this is just a comparison of right of way. Then voltage wise transmission corridor density. So you can see that different voltage level 132, 220 kV, 400 kV, then 765. These all are the HVAC voltage level. Then HVDC plus or minus 500 kV generally we use for the bipolar HVDC system. So here what is the meaning of this plus or minus? So plus means that positive conductor that is capable to transmit at 500 kV and negative conductor that has also capable to transmit the power at minus 500 kV, because bipolar system there are two cable, one is a positive cable and another is a negative cable. So overall voltage between two conductor is 1000 kV. So the HVDC system, generally the bipolar HVDC system, the rating is given generally like this way, plus or minus 500 kV. So when you see the rating of HVDC system plus or minus, it means that it is a bipolar system. Plus means positive conductor, negative means negative conductor. So two pole system, it means it is a bipole system. Yeah. Same way it is a plus or minus 800 kV HVDC system and 1200 kV HVAC system. So based on the different voltage level, we know that the right of way is different. As the voltage level increases, right of way is increases because size of tower will increase. We require large length of cross arm. So because of that, the overall right of way is increased as we increase the voltage level. Then obviously as we increase the voltage level, power capacity is also increases. So you can see that 132 kV has a maximum capacity to transmit the power is 70 to 80 megawatt. Where you can see that 1200 kV AC line has a capacity 6000 to 8000 megawatt. Same way for HVDC line 500 kV plus or minus 500 kV HVDC has capacity to transmit the power 2000 to 2500 megawatt, where plus or minus 800 kV HVDC has a capacity 6000 to 6400 megawatt power transmit. It means as you increase the voltage level, the maximum power transfer capacity is increasing. Then this last row that sees the density of power that can be transferred by the particular voltage HVDC line or HVAC line. So you can see that this is a megawatt per meter power transfer capacity, and we know that in HVDC system we can transmit the more power with small length of the transmission line. So you can see that the 500 kV HVDC line has a per meter length power capacity is 48 megawatt, where plus or minus 800 kV HVDC line has maximum megawatt power transfer capacity is 90 megawatt per meter, whereas you can see that 1200 kV HVAC line that has a capacity 90 megawatt per meter. Clear? So as we compare with this HVDC system between 1200 kV HVAC and plus or minus 800 kV HVDC system, both have a capacity to transmit the power per meter length is same, 90 megawatt per meter. Clear? But you can see that this requires the voltage level 800 kV, this requires the voltage level 1200 kV. The right of way here in this case is more as compared to this one. Clear? And power transfer capacity is almost same for this. Clear? But we see the economical point of view, then HVDC is better as compared to this one. Clear? So this is a voltage wise transmission corridor density for different voltage level. Then we already see the advantage of HVDC system: control capacity, improve the stability of the system, minimize the reduction of losses, asynchronous operation is possible. So all these advantages we already discussed. I'm not going to detail that. So now we understand that what are the present HVDC system in operation in India with main data and salient feature of each and every HVDC system. So first, this is the Rihand Dadri HVDC projects, which is rated plus or minus 500 kV, and maximum capacity is that 1500 megawatt, and the power is generation at Rihand, load center at Dadri. So you can see the rating, main data of this HVDC system, and it is commissioned in 1991, already is installed. Main data power rating is available 1500 megawatt. Number of pole is 2. It means it is a bipolar HVDC system. From the rating also you can identify that it is a bipolar or monopolar. Plus or minus, it means it is a bipole system. AC side voltage is 400 kV, which is converted into DC through these converters. So DC side voltage is plus or minus 500 kV. Converter transformers at the Rihan terminals. It means Rihan is generating station. So that requires the 6 transformers, each of rated 315 MVA ratings. Same way Dadri also requires the 6 transformers of ratings 305 MVA ratings. And the length of this overhead transmission line is 816 kilometers. Because this is a transmission of power from Rihan to Dadri, which is more than 600 kilometers. So as we know that it is not economical to transmit the power through the HVAC line. So because of that, we require the HVDC transmission to transmit the power from Rihan to Dadri. So this length is 816 kilometers. And you can see that you can also we also discuss in the different elements of the HVDC system. We see the converter transformer. There are 3 different configuration is possible. You can use the 6 transformers basically for the 12 pulse converter, because here the bipole HVDC system, so you require the 2 converters at each end. So 6 plus 6, 12 converter is required. 12 pulse converter is required. Each converter required 3 phase. So 3 transformer gives the supply to 1 converter, another 3 transformer that gives the supply to another converters. So that's why it is a 6 transformer is required at Rihan terminal. Same 6 transformers required at Dadri terminals. Clear? So the total 12 transformers required, each are rated 315 at the Rihan side, and at the Dadri side 305 MVA ratings. Then what are the salient feature of this system? You can also see here in the map, the Rihan is here and Dadri is here near to Delhi. You can see that. Now this is a plus or minus 500 kV 1500 megawatt HVDC bipolar transmission link that supplies the bulk power, because it is transmit the 1500 megawatts, is in the category of bulk power transmission, from eastern region of North Grid to the Dadri, which is the western region of North Grid. Clear? So Rihan, you can see here is the eastern part of the North Grid, whole part is the North Grid, and Dadri is that the western part of this North Grid. Yeah. So from eastern to western part of the northern grid, power is transmitted from Rihan to Dadri. And each pole has a capacity of 750 megawatt, because we can see the total capacity is 1500 megawatt. Here is a 2-pole HVDC system. So obviously one pole has a capacity of transmit the power 750 megawatt. So one pole means that suppose a positive conductor transmit the power 750 megawatt, and that can be used the ground as a return. Same way negative polarity of the conductor able to transmit the power 750 megawatt, and they can also use the ground as a return. But that is only in emergency situation. Clear? So each pole has a capacity of 750 megawatt with 10% 2-hour overload capacity. So that is the 10% of this 750 megawatt rating of each pole. It means that 750 megawatt continuously transfer the power by one pole, but extra 10% overload capacity with the time of 2 hours that can be transferred. It means 10% of 750 megawatt, that is a 75 megawatt extra that can be transferred, but only for the duration of 2 hours, not more than that. Same way, they also transmit the power with 33% overload capacity, but only for 5 seconds. So this overload capacity that is required only in emergency situations, not in normal time. But they can transmit the power more than its rated capacity. So based on that, it is designed that they can operate properly more than 1500 megawatts in emergency situations. Reverse power flow is also possible. It means normally power is transferred from Rihan to Dadri, because generating station is here, Rihan, and load center is here, Dadri. But some of the situation where happens where required to transfer the power from here, Dadri to Rihan. So it is also possible that Dadri station work as a rectifier and Rihan station work as a inverters. But in normal condition, Rihan station work as a rectifier and Dadri work as a inverter. So reverse power flow is possible. So in all the HVDC system, this feature is possible, reverse power flow, both the direction. During inclement weather condition, inclement weather condition means that in a very bad weather condition they can possible to transfer the power at voltage level plus or minus 400 kV. Normal condition they can transmit the power at voltage level plus or minus 500 kV. But in bad weather condition they impossible that transmit the power up to the plus or minus 400 kV. This is the another HVDC system, 2 cross 250 megawatt HVDC Vidyanchal back-to-back HVDC system. So here 2 means same, it is used the bipole HVDC system. So you can see that number of block is 2, it means it is a 2 pole or bipole HVDC system. 2 multiplied 250, it means that 1 pole transmit the power of maximum capacity 250 megawatt. So total capacity of this HVDC system is 500 megawatt. AC side voltage 400 kV, DC side voltage plus or minus 70 kV. So from here DC voltage rating you can identify it is a bipole or monopole. Generally all the HVDC system in India are a bipole HVDC system. So they are rated like plus or minus kV. Clear? Same way converter transformer, here they require the 8 single phase converter transformer, each has rating 156 MVA rating. Here why they use the 8 single phase transformer? Generally we require only 6 transformer because we require the 6 phases, 3 phase for one converter, another 3 phase for the second converter. But sometimes a spare transformer we can use, suppose any one transformers are damaged, so due to the damage of that one transformer we require the spare transformers in emergency situation. So we generally put the one extra transformer at each substation. So in emergency situation we can quickly replace the faulty converter transformer with the new one. So that's why here each converter station here we use the extra transformer, converter transformer. What is the system? A salient feature of this Vidyanchal back-to-back HVDC system. So that connect the Vidyanchal super thermal power station which is in the western region to the Singrauli super thermal power station which is in the north region in the Indian grid. And as we already discussed, each block can carry the capacity 250 megawatt and bidirectional facility is also available in this. And this project achieved the load diversity of northern and western region of Indian grid by meeting the load demand from surplus power available in the other regions. So it means that in this Vidyanchal back-to-back station, because of the bidirectional power flow is possible, so we can transmit the power from northern to western region as well as western to northern region. That depending upon the load demand. As you know that load demand is varied as per the requirement at different times. So bidirectional feature, that is advantages here in the HVDC system. So the load diversity is possible. And this is the first commercial back-to-back HVDC system built in India. This is another HVDC which is a Chandrapur back-to-back station, which is also a bipolar system which is started in November 1993 and completed and commissioned in 1997 December. And the main data again it is a bipolar, each pole 500 megawatt capacity, AC side voltage 400 kV, DC voltage 205 kV, and this requires the 12 transformers, converter transformer, each are rated 234 MVA. What are the salient feature of this one? So that connects the Chandrapur thermal power station to the southern region thermal power station in the Indian Indian grid. Each block carrying capacity 500, bidirectional possible. Again load diversity is possible from western to southern region or southern to western regions. And this is the second commercial back-to-back HVDC system of India. Another is the Talcher Kolar transmission link, which has a power rating of 2000 megawatt. Again it is a bipole, AC side voltage 400 kV, DC voltage plus or minus 500 kV. Converter transformer, 6 transformer required at Talcher side where power is generated, and Kolar side again 6 transformers, 6 single phase transformers required. Each are rated 398 MVA ratings. And length of this HVDC system is 1369 kilometers, and this is the longest commercial HVDC system in India as of now. Then there are so many upgradation happens in this HVDC system. So as of now it is designed for 2000 megawatt capacity continuous rating, but in future because of the upgradation it is possible to transmit the power up to the 2500 megawatts. So this is the upgradation done in this HVDC system. This is another Sasaram back-to-back HVDC system. That is only one pole. So here write 1 cross 500 megawatt. There is only one pole. So this is a monopolar HVDC system. Block is 1. It means pole is 1. AC side voltage 400 kV. DC voltage 205 kV. And converter transformer, again 6 converter transformers requires. And this connects the eastern region to the eastern part of the northern regions of the Indian grid. And power transfer is mainly from eastern region to the northern regions. This is another back-to-back HVDC system at Gazuwaka, 2 cross 500 megawatt. Again this is a bipole HVDC system. Converter transformers require 6 at each end, block 1 and block 2. The salient feature of this, again bidirectional power flow possible and load diversity is also possible. This is the HVDC Balia B1D transmission system, and this is the commission in 2010. Maximum power capacity is 2500 megawatt. Again this is a bipole HVDC system, and this requires 8 transformers. Here this is 8 transformers, each capacity of 498 MVA capacity. This is the salient feature of this HVDC system. Each pole has carrying capacity 1250 megawatt, because total capacity you can see that 2500 megawatt. And during unfavorable weather conditions they can transmit the 70 to 80% of the DC voltage. It is possible. Again it is a bipolar reverse power possible, bidirectional power flow is possible in this HVDC system. So in general all the HVDC system which is commissioned in India, all are the bidirectional power flow capable. In this HVDC system a spare converter transformer used. As I already mentioned that spare converter transformer is required to avoid any abnormal condition. Suppose any one transformer is damaged, so we can replace this another transformer, spare transformer quickly, and we maintain the power from one end to another end. So this arrangement of spare converter transformers provide the quick restoration of pole in case of failure of converter transformer, and each pole is having a dedicated spare converter transformer with switching arrangement is also provided, so we can quickly connect the spare transformer during damage of any one of the converter transformer. So we can maintain the power flow continuously without any problem. And this type of configuration is used first time, switchable arrangement with spare transformers. This one in this Balai B1D transmission system, first time we use this type of arrangement for the spare transformers. So all these are the HVDC system which are already commissioned. But now what are the upcoming projects, HVDC projects which are built by this Power Grid Corporation? So this is a 800 kV HVDC multi-terminal HVDC system. As you know that all these previous slide, all this HVDC system is a bipole, but all are the 2-terminal HVDC system. Clear? We transmit the power point to point, one end to another end. Only 2 converter station or only 2 station. But here in this 800 kV HVDC multi-terminal HVDC system, we have total 3 converter stations. Let's see that where it is generated and where the power we provided. So this is a plus or minus 800 kV, it means it is a bipole HVDC system, and maximum capacity of this HVDC system is 6000 megawatt and that is approximately length 1728 kilometer from northeast region to Agra. You can also see in this map here, this is a northeast region. This is a Biswanath rectifier station where power is generated. From this region to this Alipundra region, this is a second rectifier region here. So this Biswanath region at the rectifier station here, 3000 megawatt power transfer, and second this rectifier at Alipundra, also in the northwest region here, that is also a rectifier, and that transfer the 3000 megawatt. So total power transfer is 6000 megawatt, and load center is here at the Agra. So Agra is the inverter station. So you can see here is the inverter station at Agra, the north region. And the length between this Biswanath to this Agra, that is 1728 kilometers. So multi-terminal system, because there are 3 substations required or 3 converter stations required. One is at this Biswanath, which can capable to transfer the 3000 megawatt. Same way, this is another converter which is act as a rectifier, that can also capable to transfer the 3000 megawatt, because both station there is a huge amount of power is available in this region. So both act as a rectifier region, and this central or northern region part, Agra, is the load center. So all this power, 6000 megawatt power, is transmitted from this northeast region to this western part or northern region at Agra. So here this converter is act as a inverter operation or inverter station, and this is the highest HVDC system in terms of voltage level, 800 kV, and this is under the construction. It is not complete as of now. As I already mentioned that the converter station at the Biswanath and Alipundra each handles the power of 3000 megawatt, and converter station at the Agra that handles the 6000 megawatt. Yeah. So this transmission system originates from Assam and passes through the West Bengal, Bihar, and terminates in the Uttar Pradesh. Clear? So it passes from the 4 states. Because transmission line from Assam to this Uttar Pradesh is very large length of the transmission line, 1700 kilometers. And this is the first multi-terminal projects in India. And you can see the single line diagram of this multi-terminal system. Here you can see the Biswanath at the Assam terminal, which is act as a rectifier, 400 kV AC side, step up, rectify, convert to DC plus or minus 800 kV, which has a capacity of 3000 megawatt. Okay? And this is transmitted to this Agra station. In between that, here this is the Alipundra station. This is also a generating station, so it is act as a rectifier station which also transmit the power at capacity of 3000 megawatt. So here this is a 12 pulse converter which is work as a rectifier. Here Biswanath also 12 pulse converter which is work as a rectifier. Both transmit the power 6000 megawatt to this Agra station. See, Agra station, you can see that 2 separate converters, 2 separate 12 pulse converter. This is the one 12 pulse converter, this is another 12 pulse converter. Both are working separately. So you can see that here the intermediate connection is provided to this Alipundra line here, and is connected in parallel so that we can maintain the voltage level 800 kV, and it is transmitted to this Agra station. So what are the salient features of this HVDC multi-terminal system? This is the first plus or minus 800 kV multi-terminal in India, not only in India but in the world, as per the capacity of in terms of voltage level. And this is the first 12 pulse 800 kV terminal. We use the 12 pulse converter but not at this voltage level. So this is the first 12 pulse converter which is operated 800 kV in the world. So this is the first 12 pulse converter which is operated 800 kV, and this is the first multi-terminal which has a capacity of 33% overload capacity. So it means 33% of the 6000 megawatt we can transmit more in this transmission line. So after consideration of this 33% overload feature, this is the highest capacity HVDC project in the world. And each pole of this multi-terminal system that is designed for transmit the 2000 megawatt, and which is the highest capacity in the world. So one pole means, as I already explained you, this one pole means, here you can see the single line diagram. This is a, suppose it is a positive pole, and suppose this is a negative conductor, so it is a negative pole. So each conductor has a capacity to transmit the power 2000 megawatt. Clear? But as of now, you can see that it is designed only for the, it is designed for the 2000 megawatt, but as of now it transmit the only 3000 megawatt power transfer, but it has a capacity of 2000 megawatt power transfer. Here earth electrode shall be designed at 5000 ampere DC and continuous current, and this is the first of its kind in the world, this type of electrode which has rated at 5000 ampere. And this power station, as you know, that collect the power from two stations. You can see in the single line diagram also, in the map also, you can see that here two substation at Bishwanath here, at Bishwanath as well as Alipundra. So here they takes the power from the different generating station at both this end here and collect this generation, and then this transmit the power 3000 megawatt from Alipundra, and same way here 3000 from the Bishwanath end. So create the power pulley from the different generating stations and collect it and transport at the voltage level plus or minus 800 kV bipolar transmission line to the load center, and load center here in this is the Agra station, which is a load center. So we can transmit the power near to the Agra regions, or we can say that in the western part of the region or in the northern regions. Generally near to the Delhi or NCR regions, we transmit the power through this HVDC line. And this is the efficient utilization of 800 kV line by connecting the parallel HVDC converters physically at the different location. We see that the two rectifiers are located at different locations, which are 450 km from each other, Alipundra and Bishwanath. And with 33% continuous overload capacity, that provides the higher availability of power as compared to the normal power transmission. Next, upcoming projects between India and Bangladesh. You can see there in the map, power is transmitted for 500 megawatt from India to the Bangladesh through this HVDC system. This is the upcoming project, and this is a scope of this project. And this is another international HVDC project between India and Sri Lanka, from Rameswaram to Talaimanar at Sri Lanka. You can see that power, HVDC power transmitted through the submarine cables, because here you can see the sea between this Rameswaram and this Sri Lanka. This 90 kilometer region will transmit the power through the submersible cables, and power is generated from here. Rectifier station is here, Madurai. So from Madurai to this Rameswaram, power is transmitted through the HVDC line, through the overhead line. Then this 90 kilometer from Rameswaram to this Talaimanar, power is transmitted through the submersible cable, and then again from this Talaimanar to this Anupundra region, Anuradhapura region of Sri Lanka. From this to this, power is transmitted through the overhead HVDC lines. So this is the international HVDC project. You can also see here graphically. This is the overhead line power transmission through the HVDC line, and this is the 90 kilometer through the submersible cables, submarine cables. And this is a plus or minus 400 kV line, and total capacity is 1000 megawatt. This is a bipole HVDC system, and this total project having a length, overhead line is 334 kilometers, submersible cable is 90 kilometer length. This is another big HVDC system, upcoming projects, IPP generation projects coming up in Chhattisgarh for transfer of power of different targeted region, western and northern region, which has a capacity of 3000 megawatt, capacity of voltage rating plus or minus 800 kV. And this is another Champa Kurukshetra projects, which is also under construction, voltage rating plus or minus 800 kV and 3000 megawatt HVDC system. So sometimes we use that 3 terminals. In this Champa Kurukshetra we use the 3 terminal or 3 conductors, 2 normal conductor, positive, negative, and other conductor we use as a return conductors. So what is the advantage of using this third conductor as a return path? So as we know that generally in the emergency situation we use the earth return we use as a return path, but sometimes what happens, because of earth electrode is not properly grounded or sometimes corrosion of this earth electrode, you cannot effectively use the earth as a ground return. So in that situation this third conductor can be used as a return path. So this is the advantage, that it shall avoid the acquisition of separate land, because for the earth electrode at converters, rectifier side as well as inverter sides we provide the earthing. So we require the separate substation for the earth electrode. So we not require the separate land if we use the third conductor as a return path. So this is a cost saving by using these third conductors. So that avoid the acquisition of separate land for each earth electrode station, construction of electrode station, which involves the requirement of large amount of steel rods and coke here, because this is operated very large voltage level, so they require the huge amount of earth electrode, so many pipes, steel rods, all these things. Another advantage, that construction of the new transmission line between the earth electrode station and respective HVDC systems shall be avoided, because sometimes what will happen, the earth electrode station and main converter station are far away from each other. So in between that 2 line we require the transmission line. So if we use the third conductor as a return path, so we not require the new transmission line between earth electrode station and the respective HVDC station. So this is the advantage of using the third conductor as a return path. Now future challenges. So as we know that transmission growth is increasing day by day, because generations, more and more generations we require, because day by day load is increases. So we require the more and more transmission lines, and as we know that the generation stations are very far away from the load center. So basically we require the more and more HVDC systems, if we keep in mind the economical point of view. So in future you can see in India there are so many HVDC systems are erected. So the growth of this driver is that the GDP growth requires massive expansion of the power sector, uneven distribution of energy resources, change in the generation profile. So the future of HVDC systems is very high in India. So you can see that future power scenario, before 2012 100 gigawatt capacity is the peak demand, and as year on year it is increases, and 2017 it increases to the peak demand 437 gigawatt. So, and this is the installed capacity requirement. In 2007 132 installed capacity, in the plan 11th plan commission that increase the rating, increase the installed capacity 73 gigawatt and then make the 205 gigawatt in 2012. Then again in this next 5 years they increase the capacity 101 gigawatt, makes the 306 gigawatt. Then during the 13th plan they increase the 119 gigawatt, makes the 425 gigawatt. And then in the next plan is that to install the 150 gigawatt capacity to reach the 575 gigawatt in 2027. So this is a future plan of India to increase the generation level or increase the installed capacity of the plant, because day by day the load is increasing. So we require more and more HVDC as well as HVAC lines. So there are new initiatives required for the power transmissions. So first need is that require the long distance transmission system. As we already discussed, that generation is very far away from the load center, so we require the long transmission system, and that is only possible by the HVDC system. And by using this long distance HVDC transmission system, we also keep in mind that we require the minimum land, or we require the minimum right of way, so we can reduce the investment cost, as well as we optimally provide the transmission in such a way that optimal cost per megawatt, that should be very low per megawatt power transmission. Then also we use the optimal transmission losses, so we can provide the certain medium or certain devices such a way that we can reduce the transmission losses. As we know that we use the different types of FX devices in the HVAC system. Same way we provide the compensation at the converter station in the HVDC system, so that we can reduce the losses. So in short, we require the new technologies to decrease the cost or investment cost, or decrease the losses of the transmission.